hills and build them high. Makes a long time climbing before I die. I want the chance that's bit in his eye. Well, they gave me bars, but I can see between to a dusty yard and a long gone green. They call that freedom, if you know what I mean. And I drown my sorrows, but the whiskey's gone. I'm sober as good.
Hello everybody, welcome to Shortbangers. This episode 104, going out on Friday rather than Thursday this week. Where we last minute change of plans last night, so apologies if you've been sitting waiting for the podcast, but it does mark probably we changed that our free air Thursday night episode will now be going out on a Friday, so hopefully you get used to it quite quickly. Joined tonight by Colin and John. Colin, how are you doing?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. It's delighted to be here on a Friday night. This is the way to go, eh? This is the living the dream.
Listen, we've all stocked up on drink tonight, for it. So
Aye.
I say I stocked up. I've got one can of Tennant's, like that's 2 bottles of Iron Brew. There's no
I've got
really
mine
kind of gone for it.
in my Euro 2020 Tennent's glass, and then I've got a bottle of wine to follow it. So
Clearly, I never got the memo because my can of Tennent's is still downstairs.
Is it? Text
Aye.
the missus, quick, get to bring it in for you. Colin gets deliveries partway through the show, so you can do it. It's all right. It's like the BBC. John, how are you doing?
I am really good. How are you?
Good. Yeah, I thought you might be sitting with a wee whiskey or something tonight.
No, well, I had a wee accountability session with the guy that I go and see for the PT. He was the guy that helped me lose the weight last year, and it turns out that I've not been looking after myself. So I've actually put a wee bit of weight on since December. So I've got a new goal in mind, new plan, and that means cutting back on the spirits. But especially because I'm out drinking the morning with my mate McBee, Sandy, Sean. I think Raymond's coming out as well. Wee celebration for McBee's 40th.
Ah, nice one.
So happy birthday, McBee.
I think we missed
It
the
was a
memo for
couple
that
weeks
one,
back.
Colin.
I never got invited. No.
No, neither did I.
Yeah, listen,
Enjoy
if you
yourself,
like,
bro.
Hi,
Enjoy
have
yourself.
a nice time, boys. Have a
come
nice
down to
time.
Harpen Castle if you fancy it. A wee impromptu
No,
podcast
Just
day.
an afterthought, eh? So.
Aye, I can. And I can see see your wee Longbangers mug in the background there as well, John. Just
It's
very good.
what the listeners won't have seen is that I've got a wee mind map there for my college work, and previously it was a can of pledge, and I was like, oh fuck, I need to find something to weigh that down so it doesn't end up crumpled on the floor. So the Longbangers mug was kicking about.
Good. Glad it's useful for something.
Yep.
A
Pen
mug
holder, paperweight.
mug soap paperweight. There you go, and pen holder. Right. Well, we get some questions in. Right. That's 35 minutes on the clock. First question of this week goes to St. Christopher, who says, where does the sky start? And if it's not just a bit higher than the ground, what's the bit in the middle called?
I think we had a similar question to this before, but I can't remember exactly what it was.
Well, that's helpful, John, isn't it?
Do you know, I come up with these things and they're rarely helpful.
You might have just thought about this before, sitting there one day trying to do a mind map. and go,
Away
"Thanks, that."
when I'm looking up the top left-hand side.
So where does it start then? So is it just right off the ground? And that's low sky, and then
Yeah. No, I gets up in the sky, sort of thing. I mean, I
Just got on. Thanks for that insight.
I don't class that as the sky. Like, would that not mean where I'm sitting now is the sky as well? Then, like, because if it's just that one floor up, because if you're in a house, the sky stops. So the sky stops at your building and goes
yeah,
like
it goes
all
wraps
the way
around
around
it.
it and wraps around
Yeah.
it. Nah, the sky's above your building.
I am going to put it out there that the sky begins at the highest point on Earth.
What?
Well, at North Pole.
No,
No, so like
Everest, Colin.
Everest. So there is a point at which humans can go no further without the means of without artificial means or without airplanes or whatever. That is where the sky begins.
I think the sky just starts just off the ground. It's just you didn't think about it. Because the sky.
So what's the
sky's
ground then?
just-
If the sky is, or is the ground still the ground and the sky
The
is
ground's,
like?
yeah,
It's-
it doesn't change. The ground's still
So
the
your
ground.
your
John.
feet's on the ground, but your shoes sort of level with the sky. Then that's what you're saying.
The start
Like
of the
your toe.
sky. Yeah.
No, I'm not having that.
No,
Because the sky.
because
The
you didn't
sky
get clouds
goes,
at ground level either, or at our level.
when it's foggy, you do.
I don't know. But then I think fog is different from low-lying cloud.
In what way?
I don't know how, but my mum used to tell me that.
Right. Here, think it this way, right? This is how I would describe it. We're going up to Ben Nevis at some point. Is it July we said we were going to do that?
I really shouldn't get my fucking hiking boots on.
Aye,
I
right.
was,
We
I
need
was
to.
doing well when I said yes, but
Aye, right. So that was just a wee reminder. If right, so imagine you've gone to the top of Ben Nevis, right? So your feet are still on the ground, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then even if you're halfway up and you had like a wee hang glider and you jumped off on the wee hang glider, anybody looking at you would go, "Oh, look at that kind up in the sky, showing off in his hang glider." He's going this way, right? Or one of those wingsuits or whatever. You'd be in the sky, but you'd only have just stepped off the ground, right?
So you're saying that the sky is relative to where you're standing at any given time?
Aye, so I would say the sky does start just off the ground. That's my
so
theory
if
on it.
you're on a trampoline, right,
Yes,
and you just bounce once, you're in the sky.
yeah, until you land.
But then, but the trampoline's still higher than the ground as well. Like so the ground's the ground, and the sky starts above the ground.
Yeah,
But if you're in the trampoline, which is above the ground,
yep.
you land. Are you still in the sky on a trampoline, or are you in?
What
Are you in?
if you're halfway up a ladder? Are you? Are
Aye,
you
exactly. Or one step on a ladder.
yeah, are you
Either
there
or.
in the sky?
Yeah.
Fucking hell! Right, are we going to bar St Christopher for sending in questions?
I need to send more.
There must be like a proper answer to that, though. Eh? Like if somebody was to Google it, John. I
Jesus,
think it
man.
is just off the ground. Where does the sky stop then? When does it stop being sky and then space?
Is it when the atmosphere changes? Like it will be.
Yeah,
Aye.
it is.
That's
So
the right answer. Yes.
yes, right. Because remember that it was his name
The
Felix.
first time in 104 episodes, we've got a right answer.
What was the boy's name? Felix
105.
Baumgartner.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Felix
Oh, the
Baumgartner.
boy, aye.
He took a flight up to the
Red Bull
edge, edge of
Aye.
space, and then just fucking jumped. That was a mental thing to do.
Aye, but there was a boy just about, I want to say it was about 4 months later, went and did it for even higher. And I honestly think that that's one of the biggest anticlimaxes I think I've ever heard of, because it was billed as this like superhuman effort, like to
Aye.
jump from the edge of space. And then someone rocks up just a couple of minutes later and went, fuck it, I'm just going to go higher.
Was it no somebody for like Google or Amazon or something like that, like some exec did it?
Google rings a bell, aye.
That's
Aye,
a
'cause the
cunt
boy
move as
did
well, eh?
first-
Like,
aye. But then it's one of them where you think, if you were to get the Guinness Book of Records, you could go, fuck's sake, he's only got that world record because the other can't try that. Is it maybe the boy like made it more, and the other boy, fuck off, man, I'll go an extra meter. It's
We
easy.
need to set a Guinness World Record. I think we've got it in us. And I think it's got to be
there's-
along the lines of the longest
Biscuit-
distance for a custard cream being launched.
aye,
freehand.
biscuit toss is definitely the one that we'll need to get based on.
That chocolate round, that's what you called it, John, the chocolate round.
Mm.
I reckon that's the biscuit of champions, that one. It's the right shape, it's got a good weight.
It's got a wee bit of drag because of that hole in the middle, though. I'd be
No, it's not got-
suspicious of that.
That one I had never had a hole in the middle.
Did it know?
No, it was like I had the shape of that, but it never actually had a hole in the middle. Because I picked it up and I thought, I'll have a bite at it, and then I went, no, get a photo of this for like for a guy.
Get it in the group chat.
That's exactly how it went. And it was Leon that spotted it. Somebody said,
Aye.
"Right, yes, somebody did try and have a bite of that. It was me."
Is a chocolate round better than a mince round?
It depends what mood you're in. A mince round's good, especially if you got a proper one for the butchers.
Why do they call it a mince round and no a mince pie?
See, so you get, I don't know, because you get steak pies, but you get, like I was in Aldo's today. By the way, I had 2 pies for Aldo's day. Fucking brilliant. I had a steak. Well, I never had the full 2 pies because I got bites out of them for other folk, but steak and black pudding and a steak and haggis. Absolutely superb. But you get a steak pie, that's round and a shell, I think they say, and one in
Yep.
foil. But they just call both a steak pie, yeah. So I don't know
Yeah.
why they do it with a mince round.
See, when you get the big family steak pie, though, is that no more rectangular?
Aye.
Whereas the mince round is round.
Always round.
Could it be as
Is
simple as that?
is mince round not what Morris dancers do?
That whole hang was just for that.
That's it. I just all built up to that
Yeah.
one line. Right, Stephen Bell. It's a very specific question. This one, I said we would definitely read it out as well, because I think he was obviously stressed out at the time. He says, at what point does an airline have to compensate you the entire cost of your holiday for the delay? I doubt this will make it on the show, but I'm hoping the universal platform that is Longbangers will raise enough awareness that British Airways customer service finally hears me. So, Stephen, I hope you're not still waiting. That's the first
I
thing, like,
sorted.
because it was 5 days ago you said that, and we were late recording this. So, if you are still waiting, you have our deepest sympathies. But what, John, you look like a man that can aviation rules.
When
What's
I
the
remember
deal?
seeing Stevie's tweet, and I went back to him and I said something about, have you tried getting it back through your credit card? But I missed the operative word there being delay. I wonder how long he'd actually been delayed for. There must be a point though, eh? Like after, like, say 3-4 days where the airline's not be able to get you home, they've got to refund you.
I'll send you another way. Like they've got to fucking fly you to Glasgow or give you a car, like hire a car. What was the actual question? Is delayed flight?
Yeah, how much of a delay until they have to refund you the whole holiday? And would it be the airline or would it be your travel insurance company that would refund it?
Well, if it was the airline that was causing it, it could be them. It's like if you get the train though. If you get the train and you're delayed by, I think it's 30 minutes late on the train, you get a fare back.
Yeah,
On the London line anyway, you do.
there is. There was one like Joe. The Twitter tells you. I'll just cover this. Right, it tells you you have a reply that may be offensive, and of course that never discourages you from pressing the fucking button to show it, does it? Like, fucking show me it now, show me it now. So I think this person's, and I'll not read it who tweeted it, but I think they've no quite grasped what Shortbangers is all about, because their reply was, people lying dead in the streets of Ukraine, mothers burying their children in rolled up carpets and moving them in wheelbarrows. Get a fucking grip, you self-centered twat.
That is offensive.
Which is a bit disproportionate to what this is all about, eh? So I think this person needs to fucking calm down a wee bit. It's different things.
Did they tag us in? Did they tag us in?
They just replied to the thread. Just a fucking mental, eh? So you just need to calm down. It was just a fucking innocent question, innit?
I was going to say, what are they doing about the Ukraine war? Like, are they doing anything to fucking solve it?
They treated the folk complaining about flights, so that'll fucking show Putin, won't
Exactly. Aye. Yeah, how have they got time to do this? There's fucking bigger things to worry about than replying to tweets.
Fucking right there is. Fucking right there is. So anyway,
between the three of us, I guess none of us are going to defend Ukraine. Is that what we're saying?
Well,
I'm not going to jump
in. I mean, by jumping on the front line with a sniper rifle or something.
My fighting days are behind me, John. I'm not going. I can't fight sleep anyway, do you know? Like, never mind Russians. Whenever you see Russians portrayed on the media, they're always fucking mental. Like, do you know when there's baddies in a film, they're always like fucking Eastern European or Russian, right? Imagine me rocking up like that. I'm not going to scare Russians, am I?
Aye, but hear me out. Like, I think there's a sitcom in this, and I've got a perfect title for it. It's Hibs Das Army.
Hibs Das Army. Superb. Right. Alan Shaw, speaking of the devil, column. This is my Shortbangers question. What's the best pie?
Oh, well, I think about it. They just preempted that question there. The best pie that he makes, or the best pie?
Just the best pie ever.
I don't know. They ones are fresh in my mind, but the black pudding one was tremendous today. Go for steak and black pudding.
I've had two really memorable pies that I can remember, and it was I want to say it was Arbroath do the steak and black pudding, and then at Linlithgow they do steak and haggis, and I really enjoyed them both. I'm looking forward to going down to Allen's and having a go. Yes.
Aye. Well, they were both good, but I would tip the black pudding over the haggis, but they were both very, very good.
Stephen Baker over here in Fife, they do a nice Scotch pie. They're famous for their steak bridies, but I like the Scotch pie that they do, pie on a roll. Fucking tremendous.
Someone
I
at
tell you
work suggested to me the other day, sorry to interrupt, Colin, I need to get this
Right.
out while it's fresh in my mind. So we've all had a mince pie on a roll, maybe out the chippy or maybe just out the oven or whatever. But the boy at work suggested to me a buttered roll and a steak bake out of Greg's.
Aye. There's no steak in that though, eh?
Nah.
Does Aldo
They're
get
nice.
into
Oh, you should see the meat in Aldo's steak pies, man. Aye, proper. But what I was going to say was the sausage roll at Crombie's the Butchers on Broughton Street. The sausage rolls in there are really good. It's not a pie technically, but pastry, yeah.
Yeah.
Decent.
Can we
decent
do
as well, very
adverts
good.
for all the bakers that we like? All the places we go and get sausage rolls and
It's
pie.
not enough time to put the adverts in.
Just have a separate show.
If they send us, we'll quite happily, like, we'll be sponsored by a pie company, no bother, just send us out. Don't need money, pay us in kind. We pie every now and again, we'll quite happily talk about it.
We'll get a wee
right.
Longbangers black card for every bakery that we
Aye,
just slap on the
just go
counter,
in.
get a wee
There you go,
selection.
mate. Ting ting. Right, Moonbound said, Longbangers, with the rise in cryptocurrency like Bitcoin and StrikeX, when do you think we will see the first purchase of a player using cryptocurrency?
2029.
Yeah, that's what I was going to go for. I've been following the market. I can only assume you've been doing the same, Colin.
Yeah, that's my job, eh?
Aye.
I ain't got to know it.
They're talking about releasing a kind of government-backed one, aren't they? Government-backed
Aye.
sort of Bitcoin type thing. I don't fucking understand it. Like,
Risky's
Do you
putting
reckon-
NFTs and everything at the now to try and distract for his wife's
oh.
dodge. That's over the shop.
Well,
Everybody moan about that. There's an NFT. Go moan about that.
the bad thing, everybody went on about it, like, the Bitcoin and all the rest of it, and PayPal started doing it, so I thought, oh well, fuck, I would get on board with that, and it just went down in value, like the whole time I had it. I'm not talking about big money, but I was like, how unlucky can you get? So I just cashed it out and thought, fuck it, I'll leave it to the folk who get what they're doing. Right,
Have
next
you
one.
put money on? Can I just ask? Have you put money on Hearts yet for tomorrow and next week?
Yes, I have.
Good.
I have. Not a lot, but
Was it in cryptocurrency?
I like it.
no, I'll probably get it out in cryptocurrency though. That'll be fucking my luck. Right, William said, on a scale of Alan McGregor rage, how annoyed would you be to find the metal detector you'd been using for years was broken?
We've been asked about this metal
I feel
Definitely
like we
talked
have.
about metal detectors. No,
Have
we
we?
did.
What was the
Aye.
context?
Is that why?
We had a good laugh about it as well. And I can't remember why.
Because surely, now I can't remember if we said this before or if one of you did, but surely before you go out, you would test it. Like you wouldn't just walk about like you're hoovering the beach,
Right.
right?
And
But
you
would-
tested
first
it
thing
on
you
the buttons of your jeans. just,
Would a can of juice work? Would a can of Coke work?
oh, I don't know. I don't know if it picks up how you, or if it knows what the good metals are and what the shit ones are.
Aye. You would test it on something though, eh? Something you found before,
Aye, maybe like just stick
Make
it
sure
over
it
the
beats.
cutlery drawer or something.
or just change the batteries every time. Because it must be batteries, eh? It's not plugged in anywhere.
Do you think there's metal detectors for deaf people?
They just buzz.
Aye.
That's what they would do.
Be a vibe.
How does
Your
it go?
phone.
But what if they can't hear it?
No, like it vibrates. Right. Good question. Good question. Did you give it a 1 to 15, by the way? That was the actual question, was on a scale of Alan McGregor. But
How would,
that's
you know,
1 to 15,
how
right?
would you find out it was broken? Like, would you have to like obviously be standing over a big chunk of metal and realise that it's no
Aye,
doing
it
what
would have to-
that making that sound it might have made?
Aye. It would have to be that, but you've tested it before, eh? So, aye, you'd be 15 rage, but actually you'd mitigate it by fucking checking, eh? Before you go
Aye.
out. Imagine getting him, like, say, how'd you got in the day? Nah, I never found anything. Eh? Never found any metal at all. What a beach.
Yeah, the
None,
whole time I was there.
none at all. Did you switch on? Ah, I switched on.
25 years he's been coming home telling me that he can't find any metal on Potty Beach. Can't never put batteries on it.
It's the fourth metal detector he's been through that didn't work. Sir Words a Lot said, if you went on a date with the ghost of Madge from Neighbours, would you offer to split the bill? Where would you take the ghost, specifically the ghost, not Madge herself, but the ghost of Madge from Neighbours? Where would you take her on a date?
Madge was Kylie's mum, eh?
Was she?
Yes. All I remember from Madge, Harold.
She liked her fag, eh? She was English. She was English or Irish actress, eh, that woman.
Was she?
Was
She
she?
wasn't Australian, aye. She was English or Irish. And I'm sure she was Kylie's mum. Not in real life in the programme.
Right. So
Yeah.
Was
you've-
Kylie like in the program? Was she an orphan or was she adopted or something? Because I don't.
No, that was her
I've
mum.
got a very vague. Really?
She came on an
I just thought
orphan
your
is, John.
fucking mum was.
Aye. do you know what an orphan is?
Aye, but you know what I mean.
No.
What was
do you mean?
Kylie? What was Kylie's name in Neighbours? It wasn't Kylie. It was.
Charlene.
And was it Charlene Bishop?
No, that was Madge's husband's name. Charlene. Oh, I can't remember.
No idea. It ended up Charlene Robinson.
Robinson.
She married Scott,
Yeah.
who is obviously Jason Donovan.
That's right. Ramsey. It was Ramsey, was it not?
Was it? The Ramsey,
I remember there was
Ramsey
a big battle in Ramsey Street over the name because I think Madge, or at least the episode I remember, I think Madge tore down the sign that said Ramsey Street.
Aye, there was a bit. That's it's ending in the summer, eh?
Aye,
Aye, she's part of the Ramsey. Aye, she's Charlene Ramsey.
there you go.
And was she definitely Madge's daughter?
Yeah.
Ah,
Aye.
there you go.
Stepfather Harold Bishop. Aye.
What was the question? Oh, where are we
Right.
taking the ghost of Madge Bishop on a date?
You're on a date with the ghost of Madge Bishop, and would you split the bill? But would you go to Lassiter's?
Or Kylie's house.
Well, I just assumed that we would be in Scotland and that she was on her holidays.
All right. So where would you go?
I was still no idea, but that was my assumption.
Hello, ghost of Madge. Do you like pies?
You like the PlayStation?
She's not even dead, eh? Like, why are we talking about the ghost of
You
Madge
sure?
when she's?
Aye, but her characters did, not the actress.
I don't care if a character's dead or no. She must be by now, surely.
By the way, it was Mitchell was her surname, but that was her dad's name.
Right.
Charlie. But she was a Ramsey. Madge is a Ramsey.
Colin, can you take us through the history of Neighbours from 1987 to the present day, please?
I can't get my wife to do it. She still watches it. And
Is
Charlotte,
Madge still in
what's
it?
her name? Oh, she's a fucking Australian-born actress. There you go, then. Eh? I'm
There you
talking
go. Spot on all the way through that.
Definitely Irish.
Our
Notable
ghost is
for her
dumping you.
career. No, notable for her career in the UK in theatre and television. Still alive. Still alive, yeah.
Aye. You're not getting a second
How
date
can
anyway
I
with knowledge
trust that
like
she
that.
was Kylie's mum when you couldn't get her heritage right? She's definitely Irish.
I thought she was English or Irish. Fuck knows.
What's the name of the swimming pool that's in Perth that had like the full moon and the half moon flumes in it? It had like
Perth
a wee
swimming
outdoor
pool.
park.
Yeah, Perth, Scotland.
If-
That's where I'm taking the ghost of Madge on a date.
right. So when she's on the flumes thing, she goes, woo!
Yes.
And you taking her for a chippy after?
Aye, what is there a decent chippy next to Perth swimming pool?
No, not in the immediate vicinity, do you think?
But aye, what do you think she would get? What would the ghost of Madge Bishop get for the chippy?
Oh, aye. Steak pie supper.
Kangaroo supper.
The baked one in the foil. That's what you go for.
A homemade steak pie, they call that
Just
sometimes.
watching the figure.
Okay, right, Councillor Tom McEwen, should it be made compulsory to slightly crush a beer or drinks can when it's empty to indicate its emptiness?
Yes, yeah. He's an actual counsellor, this guy. Eh? We've said this before.
Yeah.
He's actually genuine counsellor, sending stuff like this in.
Excellent.
Mental.
Which, by the way, would be enough
Yeah,
to swing my vote.
I was going to
Yep.
say, get up to the
100%.
next level, get up to the Parliament, and we'll back you all the way.
Aye, 100%. Aye. He's no Tory, I checked.
No, he's not. I know. I checked
No.
that. He's SNP, isn't he? Aye.
Aye,
Yeah.
check. No Tory, we're all right. Do you crush all your cans when you put them in the recycling? Because you're meant
No.
to, but I reckon
Have you?
anybody that bothers with it, you're meant to crush
Not
them
the whole
before
way
you put
down.
them in.
No, I get
Aye.
that one in the
A
middle,
wee-
but I
a
don't
wee
do the
squeeze.
standard one. Aye.
Aye. Because you get me in that way, John.
Yeah.
There was a thing when I was at primary school. Now I remember it, where we did this recycling thing, and we crushed the cans.
Did you have a can crusher? It's, by the way, which is one of the most satisfying things you can fucking do. You put there's like a wee slot. You put the can in the slot, pull the lever, and that crushes the can, and it bounces away into a bin.
Do you know? Without that description, I wouldn't have known what a can crusher was.
That, John, listen, I can't take anything for granted, can I?
No.
We've been doing this for a long time. So what are we saying? Should that be a universal thing to indicate the emptiness of a can?
Yes.
I don't know. Are we talking? Are we talking all cans? Are we talking soft drinks? Are we talking alcoholic beverages? Are we talking like the wee cans
What
of gin?
difference
the-
does it make?
Weirdly, it makes a difference to me because when you
Go on then.
first described it, I was thinking, oh no, and I thought it was maybe like an indication of manliness or strength.
Right.
But then I got to thinking, this is why I'm asking about the different cans. Like, so who is
You're
it?
worried you carry a big can, like a big pint can, you're like not strong enough to crush that. Is that
Exactly.
what you-
But then I was also thinking about like the wee cans of like pre-mixed gin and that one that you saw. What was the name of the Labour politician that drank it? She got a lot of stick for it for drinking on the tube.
Diane Abbott.
Abbott.
Aye, like, do you think she crushed her can afterwards? And is that another reason to have a go at her?
She'd have done on her forehead. Slapped it down on the table. Bosh.
So
do you-
that's one of the stereotypes I was thinking of. It's like all the daft things that guys do to show that they're manly and give themselves concussion, that sort of thing.
So would you criticise the ghost of Madge Bishop for no crushing her can of lilt after she's finished it, John?
I think so. Like, I don't think the afterlife is an excuse not to recycle.
I agree. Is that no reincarnation?
Aye.
Right, 150k on Hanlon Hill said, what has happened most in your lives? Going 2 or more days without a chod, or having 2 or more chods in one day?
What happens more often? Sorry, I was looking up is Madge dead still because I'm still not convinced Madge
Right.
died. But
So,
so the start of it was
What's
what happens
happened?
more often?
most in your lives, going 2 or more days without a chod, or having 2 or more chods in one day?
Oh, definitely two
Two
or
or
more
more.
days without. Aye.
What?
Madge is dead by 2001. Madge died. Just to keep
Unlucky
just for-
Madge.
to keep everyone
Unlucky Madge. What happened to her?
It's pancreatic cancer. It's quite a serious one.
Ah,
But it would, fortunately for the TV, that's one that is quite a quick one. Pancreatic, you die quickly on that, so they can. If somebody's like, I'm resigned, they're only a 3 month notice period.
Aye.
Legitimately give them that as an illness.
You're right there, John. Right, what's your understanding, Colin, what a chod is, based on that question?
What was it? A wank? Is it not a Barclays? Having a Barclays, is it?
That's a
dunno.
tab tip. It's a wee
Oh,
Brad Pitt,
is it?
is it no? Aye, aye.
Oh, right. Oh, right.
That's
okay.
that's what I
Is
thought
that
you
what
meant
chod
for it,
is?
but aye.
Oh. Like what chod is?
Oh, you do now. So, do you want to rethink your answer?
Aye. Oh, it's the other one. It's the other answer now. Yeah, opposite what I said.
I might have got that wrong, because you could have got it right first time, but I'm pretty sure it's Basil Bowley.
It's a wee bit like the more doors or wheels question, isn't it?
No?
I think I've ever been.
No, well,
Shit.
what I mean
I've
is,
one
it's
day
like
of
that
another shit.
question, and as much as there can never be a definitive answer. Like, see when you think back to when you were you can't remember when you were a bairn, but you filled your nappy frequently.
Yep.
And there's probably a lull in your sort of like infant, maybe even teenage years where you probably did go a couple of days without a jobby, but I poop regularly now,
I can't
easily
remember
twice a
ever.
day.
I was going to say easy to. I'm easy to a day. I can't remember ever not being that ever.
Yeah. Tea in the park would be like kind of, but you deliberately don't. You kind of
Aye.
take stuff to make sure that you're not having to
Aye.
experience the toilets at Tea in the Park. Okay, right. FM Edinburgh. Who is everyone's favourite character from the Tekken franchise? So I can't call us looking at this going,
Is that the
what?
fighting game? It's a
Aye,
fighting
you
game,
getting that? Aye.
I had a PlayStation back in the day. I had the PlayStation 1 at one point.
Aye.
And
Tekken
it
was
came
brilliant
out
on
on
it. Tekken 2, I think it was that came out on
Aye.
PlayStation.
Had that and had Crash Bandicoot and FIFA and that, or whatever it was at the time, and Joe and Lumi Rugby I had. That was about the games. That was my limit. I don't know the characters' names though. No idea.
No. I reckon most people would be hard pushed to name a character out of Tekken.
Aye, I couldn't tell you the names. Like the ones
Everyone
that
that was cool was playing Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat.
Well, there was a game on the Sega Dreamcast called Soul Calibur. Soul Calibur 2.
Oh,
I think
aye.
that was. That was fucking quality. That was better than Tekken. Tekken was brilliant at the time, but it was superseded by Soul Calibur, I would have said. Neither of which were as good as Street Fighter 2 back on the Mega Drive.
I always thought it was a bit pointless. You used to just have to press as many buttons as you could to get the guy to do like the big final thing. There was no like real technique to it.
There
Just
was
like
technique
press them
to
all.
it if you learned the moves. But what everybody did, they all went either Chun-Li and then did the kick because she just did like a fucking kick that went.
She's just named the character's name then.
For Street Fighter, or E Honda, who was a big sumo wrestler because he had the 100 hand slap, so you could just mash the punch button and he would do this. That's and nobody could come near you. So, right, Charlie Banks. True or false?
Monzo.
Hi, Charlie. What were the Cranberries letting linger?
Just trying to remember the lyrics.
You being serious?
No.
Do you have to? Do you have to? Do you have to let it linger?
It's like I'm such a fool for you. I want you to pull my finger.
It was like a.
Did you have to let it linger?
It was like a love song, though, eh?
Yeah.
I think it was a nookie.
It was a note to a fanny fart.
Is that the like love bite?
I've got a fucking fanny fart. Fuck's sake, I've not heard that phrase for quite a while. I've no idea.
I want to hear John's thinking, right?
What if it was the smell of a jobby in the ensuite bathroom?
It better be something like that, innit? Like,
was there on suites when that song was it? Sorry,
yes.
mid-90s. Aye.
Yeah.
Probably knowing.
It wasn't as common though, eh?
I was going to say, like, when do you think
stars,
ensuites made it to the UK and Ireland?
She did, didn't you? She did.
I shouldn't have laughed. Sorry, I'm still laughing about Madge Bishop.
You're thinking about zombies now. Really?
She's Irish. She's deep though, definitely.
That is one of those songs, you just get stuck in your head. Right. Charlie also asked, why do you think we're all born without the ability to speak?
How weird
I think it's because when you reach
talking, eh?
What was that, Colin? Sorry.
How weird would it be if a baby did come out talking though? Like,
what would they say? Like, they've not really got anything to talk about. Well,
they've not learned the language yet, have they? That's probably why it is. You need time we can mimic to learn and mimic what the words are.
Yeah, I like what your old man said though, Matthew. He said it was about the Bible, of course, wasn't it? Rather than like, but we teach kids fucking the wrong stuff, really. But he never said that. This is me talking now. But you teach kids a lot of shite, like about stuff, and if you take the Bible into it, you teach them all that, and then by the time they get to adults, they're fucking nuts about, or people are nuts about religion and all that. Whereas if you just handed them a Bible when they were 18 and went, read that, you would see how many people actually took it seriously. I mean, you're fucking kidding. That's what Dynamo did that on the telly. Like they wouldn't believe it. So it's us that teach kids a lot of shite.
Good day. It's like a legacy.
Can't know about Madge Bishop, fucking biscuit throwing and all sorts of shit in my house.
I've basically been telling like my kids to save all the Shortbangers up and release them sort of like as a box set for my grandkids as like a documentary, as educational. Be like the encyclopedias.
Bernie's Magnus Opus.
And they'll go play it all back, and they're like, "Fucking hell!" Imagine the
Well,
worldview you would have if Shortbangers was your guide to it.
Stick that in the time capsule. My daughter the night sitting, like, the one that was with us when we done the Maloney interview, who said she wasn't listening, said to me the night, see, before he said digestive, I think I was thinking digestive as well. But I'm thinking Jamie Dodger, and I'm going, no, it's the chocolate round, pal. I've discovered that during the week. So we had a whole conversation about the night again. It's like a constant conversation in my house.
Chris Lee said, I once banged into a bloke who told me he met a guy in the lift doing Martello Court carrying a baby alligator. Do you share my disbelief at A, the Raj alligator story, and B, that the lift was working? Probably more unlikely that the lift was working than the alligator, to be fair. Maybe the alligator was in fixing it.
Did they have dungarees on? Dungarees in a wee toolkit.
Can you fix that elevator and make it snappy? Hey. There was a story, I'm sure somebody replied to this. So, a couple of replies. T.G. Willis said, my granddad told a story about a pal of his keeping a donkey in a Leith tenement flat in the 1940s. Just get away with getting a donkey in a flat, eh? And thinking that was alright.
Yeah, but you had to, it might have been a flat, but a lot of these stairs used to have like the drying green area a bit. I might have kept them in there.
And then Jamie Montgomery said, surely it meant the wrong flats. It meant this guy in the Kirkgate flats, and he's linked to a story on Edinburgh Live that says rescuers found 5-foot crocodile living in a bath at the high rise.
Aye, Edinburgh Live.
How do you get yourself? How do you get yourself in a position where you go, "Okay, what I'll do? Keep myself a crocodile."
Yeah.
Why would that become a good idea?
Nah, but then folk keep snakes in that as well. It's like, why the fuck would you have a snake in your house?
What's the line when it comes to exotic animals?
Well, I don't know. I could ask my mate Neil. Like he's into all that. He used to have his own place. He used to have. You remember a place called Amazonia out in West Lothian? It was out in that. It was like an industrial estate pit that was all shops. It was like Freeport or something.
Oh yeah,
it's not there anymore. He had the big Amazonia place out there, and it was like Butterfly World, Butterfly Farm, or what it was called down at Dobie's, but like a bigger thing. So he's into all that. So he'll have. I'll go and find the answer to it. I'll report back.
Aye.
What's the question? Like, where's the line?
Where's the line?
How do you draw the line and say?
How can you keep one in a house and one no? That was how can you decide to have a snake in your house? Seems mental to me.
Aye, right, that's time up for it. We'll do one more question.
Aye.
Right, Guinness 2022 said, if Hasbro, the manufacturers of classic Hungry Hippos, wanted to do a sequel called Thirsty something, which animal was best suited? So it would need to be one starting with a T.
Yeah. I can't think of any animals.
Tigers. So tiger's one that jumps to mind, isn't it? That's a T. Thirsty tigers, but... And would so if it was a tiger, when you consider how cats drink, so you know Hungry Hippos, you mash the button and the mouth goes like this. With Thirsty Tigers, would mashing the button make its wee tongue flicker in it? And if so, does that make it look a bit wrong?
What if it was thirsty Tyrannosaurus, and it was just the wee arms trying to reach out for a glass of water or something?
Just tantalisingly out of reach.
Tarantulas maybe one.
Aye. That's too creepy to play, though, isn't it? That'd put too many folk off it.
And if you hit it, you would kill it, eh?
That's true.
Just fucked right away.
Aye, okay. Thanks for sending your questions in, folks. There are more questions to come, which I'm sure we'll record and release at some point, so watch out for that. In the meantime, thanks for listening. Colin, John, thanks for your time tonight. We'll be back with a post-derby review of the game, a quick bang on Saturday, and then we'll pick the bones out properly on Monday night on Longbangers. So until then, catch you later.
Well, they trailed me down when I broke free. I drank all the whiskey in Tennessee. I don't drink water, no.